Hello viewers, I welcome you once again to my channel where we make literature easy, simple and meaningful to every reader or student who offers literature out there. So in this channel, in this video specifically, we are going to look at a specific poetic device called hyperbole or hyperbole. And hyperbole simply means where someone it is an overstatement where someone exaggerates something too much beyond. So have you ever heard someone exaggerating? Or even you yourself, you may have used some of these statements without knowing that, that is actually, without knowing that is also a technique or a device in literature. Some of the examples of hyperbole where people over-exaggerate certain things or sentences. Some of the examples of the statements for exaggeration or hyperbole are: my shoes are killing me. So shoes cannot kill anyone, but there is a hidden meaning behind it. Another example is: I swear she has a black hole for her stomach, meaning that this person is a glutton and this person overeats. But she doesn't mean that this person has a hole. Where the stomach is supposed to be, there is a hole. No. So this person is just exaggerating in their speech, but there is a hidden meaning behind it. Another example is: my love for you stretches across the universe. My love for you stretches across the entire universe. Do you know how big a universe is? Very large. So someone is just explaining how much they love that person, but doesn't mean that their love stretches across the entire planet. That is impossible. Another example is: her smile can light up a whole city. Imagine someone describing someone like that, that person's smile can light up a whole city. In actual senses, it is impossible. There is no person's smile can light up a whole city, because a smile is not actually a bulb or light. A smile doesn't give light, but maybe this person is just trying to mean that this person has a very nice smile. So that is another example of a hyperbole or exaggeration. All these statements here are exaggerated or they are overrated. Another example: I have walked 1,000,000 miles today. 1,000,000 miles. Do you know how long that is? So it's someone just trying to mean that they have moved for a very long distance today, but it doesn't mean that this person has actually walked 1,000,000 miles in that day. So the statements are just exaggerated. Another example of hyperbole is: I have a mountain of homework to do. Is there anyone who has an entire mountain of homework to do? So this mountain here is now representing that maybe this person has a lot of homework to do back home, but it doesn't mean that they have an entire mountain of homework to do. These statements are this is a technique called hyperbole where people exaggerate their statements to mean certain things. Another example is: I am so tired I could sleep for an entire year. A normal person cannot sleep for a full year, for a full 365 days in a year. That is impossible, unless you're dead. But if you're still alive, it is impossible for a human being to sleep for an entire year. It is impossible. Maybe those people in coma, or these days scientists freeze people. Maybe that. But a normal human person cannot just go to bed and sleep for an entire year. That is impossible. It just means that this person is just so tired and so sleepy. So this person just exaggerates the statement to mean that this person could sleep for an entire, but it's just meaning that I'm so sleepy and tired. That is just simply the meaning that this person is trying to communicate. Another example is that most of you usually use, I am dying of laughter. I am dying of laughter. Laughter does not kill. Laughter doesn't kill. So I am dying of laughter is an exaggeration. Maybe to express how maybe funny someone has made you. Another example is, I have told you 1,000,000 times to leave me alone. Can you tell someone 1,000,000 times to leave you alone? You start counting from 1 to 1,000,000 times. It is almost impossible. So this person is just exaggerating and saying, I have told you so many times to leave me alone, but you do not hear and understand it. So it is just an exaggeration saying, I have told you 1,000,000 times to leave me alone. Another example is, it took me forever to find you. Another example is, I am starving to death. I am starving to death. Now, that hyperbolic statement means that this person is extremely hungry. Extremely hungry. But it doesn't mean that they are actually dying. No. This person is just expressing how hungry they are and how much they need food at that moment. Then, if someone says, it took me 2 seconds to drive here. Can you drive an entire journey for 2 seconds? That is impossible. It is impossible. So that is an exaggerated statement. Another one is, I am sweating buckets. I am sweating buckets. That is a hyperbolic statement. Another example, I have not slept in a century. Now, a century is a period of 100 years. Now, if someone says that I have not slept in a century, that person is just trying to mean that maybe they have taken long or some very many hours without sleeping. Or they have taken some good time without sleeping. Or maybe they barely got any sleep. It doesn't mean that this person has not slept for 100 years. That is impossible. So that is now the power of hyperbole, that technique, where people just exaggerate using certain statements to mean something. The next one is, she is drowning in debt. She is drowning in debt. Now, drowning in debt, for someone to drown, maybe they drown like in water or something, those liquids. So you cannot drown in a debt. It just simply means that this person has so many debts, and this person is being highly demanded and has so many debts. And another one is, another example, it is raining cats and dogs. Now, when they say it is raining cats and dogs, just simply meaning maybe it is over raining, but it doesn't mean that cats and dogs are falling from the sky. So that is an exaggerated statement. Another example is, she cried her eyes out. She cried her eyes out. When someone says she cried her eyes out, it doesn't mean that she cried until her eyes popped out and fell. No, it just means that this person, this girl, overcried, or she cried too much. So that is the technique of hyperbole or hyperbole, and it simply means exaggeration. When someone over exaggerates something, it is overstatement. Another word for hyperbole is overstatement. So subscribe, follow and comment for more videos.